Good afternoon or morning. My name is Mary. A lot of you know me. Hi, I miss you. Now we're going to have Eco Art Time. And what we do during Eco Art Time is we learn, we create, and we share. So first we're going to learn a very easy way to help our planet, and that is by using less energy and turning down the heater. And when we turn down the heater, we put our sweaters on. And that's a really good, easy way to help the planet. So to inspire us, that's what we learned. Now we are going to create some eco animals that will remind us to keep our furnace down. So here is what the final product is going to look like. There's my cat and my bear. There is my rabbit and my pig. And last, my raccoon and my deer. And you can see I'm wearing my raccoon hat because I'm inspired by the raccoon. All right, so for each of these animals, you can do whichever animal you want. And you want to start with some supplies, right? So what I recommend is a white piece of paper, and you could use goose paper, which is good on one side, or scratch paper. So you're not using a fresh piece of paper. And you need a black marker for outlining. It could be a thin felt marker, or it could be a fat Sharpie. And then when you're drawing your sweater and you're filling it in, I'm going to use color Sharpies, but you can use whatever you have. Felt tip pens, crayons, color pencils. It doesn't matter as long as you get some color in your sweater, because colorful sweaters are way more interesting to look at. All right. So we will start out by creating a simple shape that starts the face of your animal. So here are my simple shapes, and I'm using my dry erase marker. You're going to use your black felt marker. So the bear shape we're going to start out with is kind of a big flat heart with a scoop instead of a point at the bottom. Then you draw a pear, and you can do this along with me if you decide you want to do a pear shape for his snout. And then you draw a triangle filled in, and some hooks for his nose, and then 2 ovals for his eyes. Very simple bear. And then his ears are just two curved lines. And there I have my bear. I'm just going to draw a body for him. So next is the cat. And the cat, you start out with a snout, which I've already drawn, and I do a triangle, again filled in, with this time a line that goes down and little hooks. All right? And then I'm doing lines, forehead lines that start there and come down. And I'm making football-shaped eyes, or cat eyes. Obviously, a lot of you know what cat eyes are. We've drawn cats a lot. And then I'm going to put some dots in his snout. Why am I putting dots? Because that's where his whiskers are going. Very cat-like. Okay. So if you would like, you can add some tiger stripes to your cat. Mine had some tiger stripes. So just wiggly lines. I'm going to put some tiger stripes coming over here. And then you do some cat ears, which all of you guys know how to do cat ears. And there you have. And you can, when you draw the body, you can do a tail coming up. And have it pretty large. Make sure it's filling the page. You can see mine. The heads really fill the page. I don't want to see any tiny, tiny heads. Okay? Because you want to have a pretty big, bright, beautiful sweater. Okay? Next is the pig. And the pig has a circle for a snout. And inside the snout, I've got 2 more circles filled in. Okay, from its snout, kind of like we did forehead lines here, but we're not going to go all the way up. So you go up and over, and then again with the filled in ovals for the eyes. And that's my pig face, very simple. And then his ears are a little bit like a leaf. And I'm going to do that for his ears. And that's my pig. And his body's going to come down. And if you want to have a curly tail, you can. There we go. Now this is the rabbit. We already have the snout, and we're going to do the forehead lines just like we did on the cat. Okay? And then the fill-in ovals for the eyes, and the filled-in triangle for the nose and the mouth. And I'm not going to make the full rabbit ears, but I would make them go like up to here, pretty big. Okay, and there's my rabbit. And next, let's see what I have. I have my deer. All right, so for my deer, I'm going to do the forehead lines like I did on some of the other animals. And I'm going to do my oval eyes about halfway down. There's my oval eyes. I'm going to fill in the snout with another circle. And then I'm going to do, again, kind of leaf-shaped ears, but a little bit bigger than the pigs. And if you want, you can add some horns. And horns are kind of just go up, down, up, down. And you can make the horns whatever shape you want. Okay, so there's my deer head. Give him a body. Gotta give this guy a body. And the raccoon, last but not least. So the raccoon, he starts out with a snout. You can see the snout there. I'm going to erase that line. All right, and I'm going to do the tip of his nose. Okay? And then from there, I'm going to just do a V, kind of a narrow V, right, like that. And I should only go about halfway. I went a little too far. Okay? So then I'm having lines coming out, out, and then from the side of his snout, actually, I'm going to start, okay, so I've got my lines going out. Then I'm going to curve this back in, and make a little hook for where my eyeballs are going to be. And I'm filling in everything but one little white reflective spot there. So now that I've got my eyes, I'm going to come with a line on the outside of the eye, come in, and then go down to the snout. I'm going to do a line curving outside the eye, curve in, and go down to the snout. And that is my raccoon snout. So I think he needs some whiskers too. So I'm going to do some dots. And give him some whiskers. Now his ears are going to sit inside his head like this. Now I'm erasing that. And then I'm going to put circles inside there and give him a body. So there's my raccoon. So we have you can see, there we go. We have all the animals. And you can pause and work on this on your own. All right, so the next step is to do the sweater. So to do the sweater, I'm going to erase one of these guys. All right, so where were we? All right, we were starting on the sweater step, right? So the sweater step is, I made my bear, because you'll have more room on your paper, right? Okay, so there's your sweater. There's the body. And you simply make stripes. And then inside the stripes, you put a repeating pattern. Now that can be triangles, it can be lines, it can be dots, it can be stars, it can be hearts. So I'm gonna put, this guy is gonna have some hearts on his sweater. And then he's gonna have some diamonds going up and down. And I'm gonna do this. Okay. All right, now I think I'm gonna do some, arches. Some big arches. So there's my patterns for this bear sweater. Now in each section, you're gonna fill in with colors. So 2 or 3 colors per stripe. And what I would do is and you'll see I'm gonna show you the example. I would think of a palette that I liked. Like I would do all cools. And the cool colors are what? Colors of the ocean. Green, blues, turquoises. Okay, you could do warms. Warms are the colors of fire and the sun. So that's pink, red, yellow, orange, fiery colors. Or you could do 2 different colors that you think that work well together, like green and yellow, which is what I did for my bear. And in each stripe, you probably want to put 2 or 3 colors per stripe. So for instance, maybe I would make all my trees green and I would make the background yellow. Or maybe I would make dark green on the arches and light green behind it. Whatever you think would look good on your sweater. And I'll give you a reminder of what the bear looks like. You can see how I did the patterns there. Okay, and I'm going to set this down. And for even more inspiration for the patterns, I'm going to hold up some different Zentangle. You've heard of Zentangle, they're different repeating patterns. Zentangle printouts I have to give you some ideas. There's one page. Here's some nice ones. Okay, so those are some Zentangle patterns that you can use for inspiration, but you can come up with whatever you want. You can totally do your own. Okay, so now that our animals have beautiful sweaters, you can leave their faces just as they are, or you can try to give their faces some dimension and visual interest. And the way you do that is with dash lines. Really simple. So what I recommend, you can do what you want, but what I recommend is around the eyes. So eyes, circle around the eyes with little lines. So you can see I've started it with the bear right here. So all you do is just do little lines close to each other all the way, not too long, little small dashes, and then keep going. Small dashes. And you will take more time to do this because this is not really interesting for you to watch, but it's kind of really fun to do. I'm doing it fast. So you can see what happens with the bear. And what I did with the bear is his face is already kind of rounded. So for the bear eye, I just continued it all the way out. So I continued with, let me find my bear example. Oops, where did it go? Here it is. You can see how I just continued all the way around. Now, if you have one of the animals that has a forehead, like the deer or the rabbit or the cat, what I recommend for the forehead is get in there and make an arch of the lines. So the lines, your little dash lines, are vertical and they're going to make this shape. Not straight in a line, but they're going to make this arching shape. And that kind of gives the forehead of the animal a curved look. So you keep arching. And then as you get down to where you're off the forehead, and you're in, sorry, my hand's in the way, and you're into the nose, then it's just straight across lines. And that would be on the deer and the rabbit and the cat. And for the cat, I would do dash lines all the way around the eyes. Now for the ears, what looks really cool is when you start the inside of the ear, you make the lines really close to each other so it's very dark, like the interior of the ear. So it makes it kind of look like the ear is going back in. So you can see here on my bear, my lines start very close together. It's almost like a solid. And then I keep going close together, but a little bit farther apart as I go around. And then farther, a little bit farther still. A little bit farther still. And that's how you would do the ear. And I'm going to hold up my bear ear again for you to kind of get an idea. All right, so that is how you add dimension to the face and make it look interesting. And you can go add those lines in whatever way you want. You don't have to do them the way I did them. And also for the last thing to think about is you might want to go back and add a splash of one little spot on the black and white face, a splash of color. For instance, on the bear, I gave his nose yellow because that was yellow. There was yellow in his sweater. And I gave the rabbit circle pink cheeks because there was some pink in the sweater. It's nice just to have one color pop off in the face area. So that is our eco animals today. What I will do is I will flash them up here one more time so you can get a review. There we go. So we're done with we've learned, we've created, and now we're gonna share. So what you wanna share is maybe put this by your thermostat in your house and share with your family. The Environmental Protection Agency recommends that you keep your furnace low during the day. When you're awake, it should be at 68. And when you're asleep, hibernating, like the bear, it should be at 62. And I challenge you to maybe go even lower. Maybe even turn it off. Instead of putting on your sweater, put on your puffy jacket. So that is what you share. Share with your family. Put your animal by the thermostat and help them remember that's a really good way to help the planet. And have a great time. I can't wait to see your animals. Okay, bye.